Today we are going to see about the process of material management going to be discussed by Professor Manavalam. It is a continuation of previous PowerPoint, that is Introduction to Material Management. There are many steps involved in process of material management. The first one is budgeting and material planning. Second one is demand forecasting, procurement, receipt inspection and payment, storage, inventory control, followed that issue and distribution, usage, maintenance, disposal and contamination, collusions, filtrage. So these are the steps of process of material management. Next we will see one by one in detail. First one is the budgeting of material or demand forecasting. How they will forecast the demand? First of all, they have to identify the items which is needed to the hospital departments. Next, they have to calculate recently which are all the item is consumed most in number. That trend they have to identify. Then third step is they have to analyze the resources. Actually, they will get the list of needed items from the different departmental heads. So that called as a resource. So what are the constraints they are overcoming while getting this list of articles that they have to review? By doing all this process together, they can estimate the needed materials. Next, the methods of demand forecasting. There are three methods are there: last period demand, arithmetic average, moving average. In last period method means it is nothing but forecasting for the next period. It's to be done on the basis of the level of demand that occurred in the previous period. That is called as a last period demand. Next one is arithmetic average. First we have to average of all past demands. Then we have to do the arithmetic calculation. It means that we have to find out by averaging out over a time period. That is arithmetic average. Moving average. Moving average we are strictly following to the middle of the time over which is calculated. It serves as a forecast of the immediate next period in the time serves. There is a time or lag equivalent to half of the time or span. Procurement. Procurement is nothing but it is the process of finding and agreeing to terms and acquiring the goods and services or works from external sources via tendering or competitive bidding process. After procuring the material, next step is we have to receive the materials to the stores. So the receiving clerk is in charge of doing this process. So what are the steps involved in receiving process means? First, the seller they have to enclose certain things with the material. One is packing slip, bill of lading, invoice for freight. So these are all the items they have to enclose along with the material and they have to send to the buyer. Next, after receiving from the seller, the buyer, that is called as the clerk in charge, they have to check. So they have to check the material against the purchase order and they have to do the physical check of the goods. Next they have to write a receiving report. After completing all this process, they have to submit the purchase department, the user and the accounting department. Whatever work done by them, that report they should be submitted to them. Next step is inspection. The quality control head is in charge of inspecting the material that is kept in the store. First one is they have to check the characteristics of material that compared with the specification what they are having in their hand. Second one is test. They have to apply different types of test. One is blueprints they must have according to the items which are they are going to check using gauges, laboratory test, visual inspection. Next, after doing all these things, they have to prepare the inspection report and they have to send the report to the relevant departments, including buyer as well as seller. They have to send the reports. Next, move on to the storage. How they will store the materials in the stores. they are commonly applying two methods, two bin method or double shelf method. Two bin method means it has bin 1 and bin 2. First they will fill the material in bin 1. While the bin 1 is going to empty in half of that, then they will take the material from the bin 2 and fill the bin 1. Second one is double shelf method. In this double shelf method, they used to fill the material in two rack. In first shelf, they will take the material from the first shelf. If it is going to be empty means, then they will take it out the first shelf and they will push the second shelf material into first shelf. This is the two different method of storage. Thank you. Next we will continue with the remaining process in part 2 of process of material management.